Hi, welcome. My name is Kristen and I work at the Berlin branch of the Worcester County Library. And today I'm delighted to show you how to make pecan pie muffins in order of Pecan Day, which is April 14th. I love this recipe. I made it last night for the first time and it was a big hit. Your muffins are going to need to be made in two parts. You will have your muffin part, making of the muffin. You will need 3/4 of a cup of milk, 1 egg, 2 cups flour, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 3/4 cup heavy cream, 3/4 of a cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon cinnamon, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and you will need 5 tablespoons of unsalted butter. And you will need to cut those into pieces, like 1 tablespoon at a time, or cube it. For the second portion of your muffins, called the crumble, which is what you'll sprinkle on top, you will need 1/4 cup brown sugar, 1/3 cup flour, 1/2 cup chopped pecans. You can buy those already chopped, but I chopped those. 1/2 teaspoon cinnamon and 3 tablespoons of cold butter cubed. Alrighty, for your equipment, you're going to need to have a microwave-safe bowl to melt this butter. I used a 2-cup measuring cup and a 1-cup measuring cup. 2 knives for cutting in the butter. I will show you how to do that. 1 sharp knife to cut your butter. I used this little odd-shaped spoon or measuring spoon I have to spoon the muffin batter into the muffin tin. A set of measuring spoons, a whisk, of course your muffin pan, your paper liners or nonstick spray, either way, a rubber scraper or spatula or silicone, and a bowl to mix your batter, and in case I didn't mention it, some nonstick spray if you're going that route. That's all your equipment. Alrighty, the first thing you want to do is take your unsalted butter, and you're going to need to melt this, but not blazing hot. You want to melt this to the just melted stage because it's going to have to cool a little bit before you can add your milk, cream, and egg. So I'm going to do my first 30 seconds, and we'll see what happens, and just keep checking it. If you have a very hot microwave, I would check it every 15 to 20 seconds. All right, this is the first 30 seconds here. That's, you know, that's not even really melted at all. There's my second 30 seconds. Now I can see that it is starting to melt a bit. Oh wow, yeah, look at that. See, I'm gonna stir that around. That is just melted. It's going to, the melted butter in there is gonna melt any other chunk that you have in there, any other cube. Alrighty. I'm gonna let that cool. And I am going to begin making the muffins themselves. First, I'll put in my 2 cups of flour. My 3/4 cup of sugar. My 1 teaspoon cinnamon. My 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And this is just salt from my kitchen here. I have made the mistake in the past, don't measure over your bowl. I have wound up with too much salt. There's my salt. I'm going to be using that salt again, just a pinch though. You're going to need a whole tablespoon of this baking powder. All right, that should be it for your dry ingredients. Then I just take my little whisk that around to combine it. Now, at this point, I should be able to return to my eggs, my butter, my heavy cream. That's still a tiny bit warm, but that's the glass bottom, so it probably is okay. What you don't, this cannot be so hot that when you put this egg in there, that it starts cooking the egg. It is a tiny bit warm, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add these cold ingredients first. It's 3/4 of a cup of the heavy cream, 3/4 of a cup of the milk, so you can see that milk's not curdling. Egg. This has to be well blended because you're not using an electric mixer here. You're just using your spatula or scraper to mix, not beating. So this has to be well blended. Alrighty, looks like I'm good to go. Now, it is not a good idea to dump all this in at once. Just a little at a time. Just get it wet, a little wet first, start stirring. Because you're not to over mix this. That's the one thing the recipe said for sure, do not overmix. A little more. Time for me to use both hands now. Have to check the bottom to see that it is getting moist and that you don't have dry patches on the bottom, which is why I like to use a glass bowl, because if I'm not sure, I just lift the bowl up and look at the bottom. And there's the rest of my very gently. this is now mixed. And I am going to take a brief break because I'm going to clean up some of my materials in my work area. Alrighty, now we're ready to make our crumble. Believe it or not, this is the most labor-intensive part of the process. First, you're going to add all your dry ingredients except for the nuts. Remember, I have these all measured out, so I didn't have to bring lots and lots of equipment or waste your time showing you how to do something you already know how to do, which is measure. And it's half a teaspoon of cinnamon. Never over the bowl, man. I've made that mistake one too many times. A pinch of salt. To me, boom, boom is a pinch of salt. Now, you take your two knives. You are going to break up your brown sugar. Slice it up. You can use a fork. It doesn't matter. Or a whisk. Just break up that brown sugar. Big chunks anyway. Now, the next part is you take your butter that's been cubed, and I think I'm gonna cube it some more. Because when I did this last night, it took me a very long time to make this crumble. So that I was satisfied that it was gonna turn out. Alrighty, put that in there. Here's how you do this. You are just gonna take your knives, move them back and forth like you're cutting some meat, and you keep doing that until it's the consistency that you want. Now remember, this is getting sprinkled on top of the muffins. I can't leave that like that. No way. So I'm gonna have to keep doing this until I've got a nice little crumbly mixture that looks like that. That's what the pecans added in. I'm not adding these in because in no way is that ready to have those pecans in there. Here this is already crumbled. And I did that last night and saved it. So now, all I need to do is take my muffin tin, my batter, my oddly shaped little spoon. I am going to, this time, I'm going to use cooking spray. I used these foil liners last night and they really stuck. So I'm gonna try this. And I'm gonna make sure that it's on all sides of each little well. Here's another reason I wanted to try it this way today. I had batter left over. When I used those muffin liners, I had batter enough. After I kept filling these, I had batter enough for at least 3 more muffins. And I actually thought I was overfilling. Make sure I don't have too much. I'm going to take a paper towel real quick, or a napkin, and blot out any that I think has too much in it. Now, I'm going to fill these. It's 2/3 of the way full. I always have difficulty filling these, so I'm going to try 3. I don't know, 2 heaping seems like 2/3 to me. All right, I'm gonna fill the rest of these. When I have them all filled, I will come back and show you the crumble. Alrighty, it's crumble time. Here's my crumble, and I am going to try first 2 of these teaspoons, maybe 3. I've filled my tin 2/3 of the way full, each little well 2/3 of the way full. I still had some batter left over, but not as much as last night. Hope I got enough crumble. I'm really going heavy with it. They look very nice when they come out. All right, I got 2 with no crumble, but I can always finish my other crumble that I started here, or take some out of the others. This is going to go into a 400-degree oven for 15 to 20 minutes. I stopped mine at 17 and they were perfect. But again, it depends on your oven. Alrighty, I'm going to put those in the oven, 400 degrees. I'm putting mine in for 17 minutes. The directions say 15 to 20. I'll be back with some freshly baked muffins. Alrighty, here these are, fresh from the oven. I was glad that I used the nonstick spray because these are coming out easy peasy. Make a nice little display there. This is perfect for breakfast. People love them, I like them. They're in honor of Pecan Day, which is April 14th, and these are called Pecan Pie Muffins. If you enjoyed this video and like to see others like it, please go to www.worcesterlibrary.org or follow us on Facebook. Enjoy.